What is up, everybody? Turbo vs. TV here today. Now, after the showcase, these Sony guys are they're feeling their heads are held up high, and they are high on the Sony fanboyness to the furthest extent that even gaming journalists are now showing that they're repping that PlayStation fanboy flag to the fullest. So because of we've seen Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine announcement, this guy says RIP Xbox users. Now what? Xbox users just wrap it up, throw your Xbox in the trash. It's just a useless box at this point because your Xbox won't have Spider-Man and Wolverine. Mm. Now this whole situation where even Xbox guys were like saying that, hey, Xbox, go to Marvel, get an exclusive game. I don't get it. It's like we have had Spider-Man games before in the past. This is what that's why I had a problem with the other guy who made that post. And like I said before, Microsoft needs to go to how Microsoft just sees pretty much copies Sony. I don't agree with that whatsoever because, like I said, we had other Spider-Man games before in the past, pretty much on every generation of systems. And it's like now Spider-Man is like the biggest. I mean, Spider-Man games have always been pretty good, but it's like now because Sony owns them. It was already a big thing before, but now it's like this whole a mega level thing because Sony owns them now. And it's like that Wolverine game. It looks pretty cool. Like I'm interested in both games to be honest, but it's like the Wolverine game looks. We don't know anything about it so far. It might be a great game. Hopefully, it's a great game. I want both these games to be great, honestly, but it's kind of like we had a Wolverine game before in the past too on 360 and PS3 generation, X-Men Origins Wolverine. And I don't know if that game did too well in sales, to be honest. It's like I'm pretty sure the game was great. The big selling factor was that it was a Wolverine game. You get to play as you get to dismember people, all the rated R goriness of Wolverine. You could do that in the game. That was the big selling point. And I don't think the game sold that well. I don't remember like I don't. I'm assuming if the game would have sold well, it would have like a sequel by now. But we're just getting a sequel in 2024. So I don't know. I'm excited for both games. I am a comic book fan, or a Marvel fan, but this take was like Xbox is done. Like really, and it's coming from a journalist, no less, a person who's supposed to have the integrity of being called a journalist. Even though this is from Complex, he's a gaming journalist at Complex, which I thought they just did with I thought they just dealt with like hip hop and like buying sneakers and shoes. So yeah, this is a pretty bad take, and it had a lot of it went somewhat viral on social media. And it's like, really? Xbox has games too. Xbox don't just need to copy Marvel. Xbox has a lineup of games. Like this guy, he called this guy a clown, but somebody posted a list of the different games coming up for Xbox. And it's like, there's a lot of games coming up for Xbox that I'm excited to play. Indiana Jones, I'm excited for. Outer Worlds 2, I'm excited for. The next Gears, Fable, Perfect Dark, Avowed, Starfield. A lot of these games I'm excited for. So it's like, just because Sony shows some Marvel stuff, people are just losing their mind. It's like, if it is that big of a deal, if this is that, because I think Sony is trying to double down on getting all these Marvel games on their system. But if it is that big of a deal, you might want to save up $5 a week to get a PS5. It's that big of a deal. You guys are just freaking out about over it, but this guy, RIP Xbox, like this is a trash take. Xbox is still a great gaming system. It has great services, has great features. It's like knock it off. But let's read some of the comments. This is the good part because people are just not feeling this tweet whatsoever. 2023 is only 478 days away, so it's still a long while until this game's come out. So, game journalists encouraging console wars. Reminder that these people get paid to write about video games, yet this is how they decide to spend their free time. Zero integrity, of course, is also a checkmarked account. Poor thing. I ain't about to like that one because I would fully agree with that post right there. It's like cough, cough. Yeah, look at all these games showing up. And I think this one has more than the one I just clicked though. Like it has a lot of games showing up. Like I was like, really? There's a lot of games for the Xbox side coming up, so let's see. He says we good on that. Yeah, we pretty much good on the Xbox side. We got plenty of games on Xbox. It's like copium. Oh man, Xbox guys they gotta swallow the copium now. Really? Okay. That must mean like this is the other crazy thing about it too. Those Wolverine projects didn't do too hot, but these things better do amazingly. These two games, the way people are capping for these two games, they better be the number one game on PlayStation when they come out. They better be like half the install base people who got PS5s better buy these games because the cap for these games are insane. It's like it really is because I'm pretty sure like the big Wolverine had like three movies solo. I think Wolverine had like three solo movies by himself, and I'm pretty sure they didn't. A lot of those movies, like I think like two of them didn't do too great. I know the one that people really praise is Logan, the last one, but Wolverine Origins people didn't really like that one too much. People don't really like the other one. He was like in Japan. He was like losing his powers. And I'm pretty sure the last Wolverine video game didn't do too great. I mean, it probably did okay in sales, but it wasn't like amazing. But these new ones, the way these people are capping, it better sell amazingly well. All this cap I'm seeing on social media about these two properties. Dude, two games are gonna make me buy a whole ass console. I switched to PS4 for one game, Marvel Spider-Man, and it was 100% worth it. Thanks for your thoughts and prayers. I'm an Xbox fan, honestly not bothered. I just think it's cool that these two games exist. Yeah, and if you do have all the systems, it's like the more games, the better. Like this is a great thing for overall for gaming. But these guys saying the Xbox is done, RIP Xbox, and like what he says, not impressed. Some people gotta understand. A lot of people don't even like these Marvel, the superhero stuff. Like I'm really big into the superhero stuff, but a lot of people have no interest in the superhero stuff whatsoever. It's like, and like he says, LOL RIP for those who think the Xbox users are impressed. Okay. Let's see. Let's look at the quote tweets actually. Let's look at the quote tweets for this one. Me, who has both an Xbox and a Switch, okay. Can't PlayStation fans like shut up and not start a console war? They can't do it. They can't just say, hey, we love what you're doing, Sony. I'm excited about Spider-Man and Wolverine. They have to take shots at Xbox any chance they get. It gets even sadder when it's an official journalist doing it. It's just weird at this point. Also, I think they forgot Halo Infinite, which is a big game coming out this year, but people was like, you just forget that game exists. Forza Horizon 5, another big game is coming out this year. Perfect Dark, Fable 4, State of Decay 3, Starfield, and more coming to the Xbox Series X and S. It's like big heavy hitters they just want to ignore because of Spider-Man and Wolverine. That's like, really? This is such a funny tweet because everyone complained that Fable, Avowed, Perfect Dark, and Starfield are very far away. That is true. They were giving Xbox got so much crap about these games not being anywhere close to being done. But they're hyping up these games, which are 2023 and 2025 games now. I have noticed this. A lot of these Sony fanboys, they reek in hypocrisy. They don't. They just stand and just embrace the hypocrisy at this point because they are definitely some hypocrites. A lot of things, with a lot of takes they make. Reason why nobody likes you people, like you number, this large number right here, looks like us. LOL, he deleted his post, but he had receipts, and so does the marketing team of Xbox. Oh, let's see. LMAO, get a load of this guy. Yeah, like, really? They got all these amazing games coming out soon. And a lot of these games are RPGs, which I'm excited about. I love Western RPGs, but according to this guy, you just need to say, all right, you just need the Xbox is just done for. Really? It's like Xbox is becoming a home of Western RPGs. So that's like, but this guy says, hey, because we see some superhero stuff, it's like wrap it up. Calls himself a journalist and says RIP Xbox users because two CGI trailers were shown for games down until 2023, the earliest. LMAO. Also, majority of Xbox users own a PS5. Yeah, that is a thing too. It's like the Xbox users, mostly a lot of Xbox users have a PS5. They don't mind buying a PS5. It is just the PlayStation fan base who just want Xbox to be gone entirely. It would even go to the point where they would buy a PC just to spite the Xbox for some reason because they hate Microsoft so much, even though they own a PC which is owned by Microsoft. But it's whatever. I don't know. they gotta go to a lot of mental gymnastics to be a Sony fanboy. So, as journalists, you expose your ponytails. Really weird how a company will announce a bunch of stuff coming to a platform, and some brain dead in Memphis will pull up the RIP the competition. RIP PS5 users, you could do the same thing. That's like Starfield is a big game coming out, and you could literally do the same thing with that. I am an Xbox user that also owns a PS5. How so? Because you're not a fanboy. You don't have the loyalty to one company like these guys do. They hate us for real. They really do. They have some deep seated hatred for Xbox people at all times. Hatred or jealousy, one or the other, because they always talk about Xbox. Like, why is Xbox even being mentioned in your post with two new games being announced for PlayStation? Like, it's just weird. Hey, look at that. Sometime in 2022 to 2024, I have a reason to turn on my PS5. Game journalist, jeez. Silence check mark. And that's the thing too. This is a check mark. These are supposed to be like the official, the verified people on Twitter. They aren't trolls. They aren't these low live people. But this guy has a check mark acting like this. It's like, really? Some fanboy behavior right there, like this guy saying, shaking my head. If you want to feel better about your own life, look at all the sad and pathetic people in this thread. And yes, I do mean both Xbox and Sony saddles. Yeah. Over in the Spiderman superheroes, they wouldn't kill Xbox users. I can't believe this. Okay. Don't listen to him. Xbox is an excellent console. It might not have much in terms of modern exclusives, but it shines at being able to play tons upon tons of legacy content. You people facepalm. Ain't no way there's still 25 plus year olds still arguing over consoles. Just buy both or buy a PC. But yes, Sally, there are people my age and older and a lot older, people who probably should be in citizen homes, still arguing about consoles when it's just sad. I wonder, do they argue about toasters? Do they argue about refrigerators? They argue about anything else but these consoles. It's definitely weird. Imagine still fighting over consoles. I mainly use Xbox, PC, and Switch, but I still play PlayStation and enjoy PlayStation exclusives. It all comes down to what you enjoy. If you still fight over this S, you're effing brain dead. Also, goddamn, does Spider-Man 2 look good? He says, you are a clown. You dress him up as a clown. That's the guy behind this tweet right here. With a post like this, he's a content creator, not a journalist. Yeah. It's kind of sad when you see a journalist who's supposed to have all his integrity. Like, you expect them like to cover these new news stories, but now there you see them taking sides. They're obviously biased, so it's kind of ridiculous. Tell me how these two games in any way means death to Xbox users. Typical fanboy cares more about petty console wars than the announcements of two potentially awesome games in development for the platform he supposedly plays games on. Toxic crap facepalm. Thank you, Mr. Journalist, for showing us unbiased journalism and further proving my point. Metacritic means nothing. Absolutely not, but enjoy your interactive, boring movies. Yeah, RIP Xbox. Xbox has the biggest IPs after GTA, so STFU facepalm. You idiots in your console wars, grow up. Yeah, this, like I said, this tweet had a lot of response, so I could literally be all day reading these tweets. So I'm gonna include it right here. Like I'm just gonna scroll. I'm gonna scroll through while I'm talking, but yeah, this is a terribly bad take. Don't be like this guy that say you want to be a gaming journalist, and then you're obviously biased towards PlayStation and saying, like, he is still getting roasted in these comment section. Like they were not happy with this guy, this so-called gaming journalist. It's like, wow, terribly bad take on your part, sir. But definitely see your thoughts down below about this. Leave a like if you like this video. As always, thanks for watching, and peace.